I've been doing YouTube for years now. I've gotten this channel to over 1 million subscribers and I'm making over $300,000 a month from the platform. And I've seen every growth hack and viral strategy out there, but most of them are not effective. But recently, I discovered something that changed everything. A way to use AI that's so simple, it almost makes me feel stupid for not implementing it sooner. And it has nothing to do with thumbnails or titles or any of that surface level stuff. It taps into something much deeper and much more important when it comes to having success on YouTube. And so today, I'm about to show you an AI-driven strategy that will be very useful for anyone who's looking to scale a YouTube channel to multiple 6 figures a year. And all I ask in return is that you gently tap that like button. Now let's jump into it right now. All right, so whether you're a business owner or you're a YouTuber, you have some sort of interaction with your viewers or your buyers. So if you're a business owner, you might have sales calls, and if you're a YouTuber, you have comments in your comment section. But the point is you have some sort of interaction with your clients, your buyers, or your viewers. So for this particular example, I'm gonna say that you have sales calls transcripts, right? You've had a bunch of sales calls with clients or consulting calls with them, and you have transcripts of those calls, which you can easily do with an AI like Fathom. But I don't really care what tool you use, just get the data, right? And if you don't have sales calls, this works just as well. Just look at your comments, look at any surveys you've done with your clients, look at any calls you've had with your viewers or webinars you've done with your viewers, and just analyze what they say. And this is exactly what I did with hundreds of sales calls that my team and I have had with potential prospects. And let me show you exactly what we were able to make by doing this. So this is my B2B client profile, and you can see exactly the breakdown of the different types of clients I work with. So you can see coaches makes up 30%. That's the biggest percentage. Consultants, which is very similar to coaches, is 15%. Then you've got agency owners and business owners, course sellers, you got quite a few affiliate marketers and passive income seekers, and you got just normal passive income seekers. And we've got a detailed breakdown of all of the information for these people, right? And I won't show you all that detailed breakdown because it actually has a lot of their names in it. But basically, we are able to tell exactly who our ICP or our ideal client profile is. Another way of talking about this is our ideal client avatar. And then we also have the exact objections that they came up with on the call. And we have the most common objection, which is time constraints and execution challenges. And the second most common type of objection is monetization and financial concerns. And we have exact quotes from the calls. So I'm a busy person. I can't create at the pace needed. Momentum matters. I haven't kept it up. I already run a business. I don't have time to waste. My biggest problem is just being consistent, right? So we know what the most common types of objections are, and we have exact quotes. That's the important thing. Now, this can obviously be extremely useful for your sales team, for instance, because they know what type of objections they're going to be getting on the call, and they're going to have a good answer for those. And that's magical on its own, but that's not where the real magic happens. The real magic happens when you upload this into AI and utilize it for content creation, because the AI can create content that basically reads your prospects' minds, right? People will watch your content and the AI knows exactly what objections they're going to have. And it might even say the exact objection in the exact words that they are thinking, right? So the AI will see that, hey, most people have objections with time constraints and execution challenges. So it'll address that objection first, and then it'll talk about the monetization and financial objections, the fear of failure objections, the niche and strategy uncertainty objections, the channel growth struggles, etc., etc. And it'll talk about it in that order. And it's not just for content creation, it's also for creating a VSL, or writing to your email list, or creating a webinar, or coming up with ideas for ads. This just becomes unbelievably useful in just about every possible way imaginable. Now, if you're seeing this and you're thinking, Shane, this looks amazing, but I have no idea how to set it up and I don't have time to set it up. Well, this is what we help our clients do, right? If you want to be able to literally read the mind of your ideal clients and your viewers on your YouTube channel, you need to make something like this. So links in the description if you want to chat about that. And later in the video, I'm going to go into how we make this. But first, let's get into how you can weaponize this data, because there are 3 really big ways. Strategy number 1 is to predict the pushback, right? So your sales team now knows what's coming 80% of the time. And instead of being caught off guard, they're ready. I don't have time. Boom. Your sales team has a response. It's too expensive. Boom. They have a story. I'm not tech savvy. Boom. They have proof that it's simple. And one of my clients saw their close rate go from 15 to 35% just by implementing this. Because when people got on the call, all of their objections were already answered. And any other objections that they had, the sales team had an answer for it. And this is because their sales team stopped being reactive and started being proactive. Strategy number 2 is to Trojan horse your organic content. And this is where it gets sneaky. sneaky because you create helpful educational content that addresses their objections, but you're not doing it in a salesy way. You're just being helpful. So for instance, if I don't have time is their biggest objection, you make videos about efficiency and automation, and then you Trojan horse your product as a solution to that problem. If it's too expensive keeps coming up, you make sure to emphasize the ROI and the value of your product or service. If I'm not tech savvy is the issue, you make simple step-by-step tutorials and you show them how easy it is to implement it if they follow your system. By the time they get on a sales call with you, you've already handled their biggest concerns. And they feel like you get them, like you understand their world. And honestly, you do, because you've been listening to their actual words. Now look, if you're a business owner watching this and thinking, like, how have I not been doing this already? This could change everything for my business. Well, you're probably right. And we've helped a bunch of business owners implement this exact system. And some are now making 10 times more revenue. So if you want to see if we can help you do the same, there's a link below to book a free strategy call. Check it out. We'll look at your business and show you exactly how this would work for you. But strategy 3 is propaganda content. And this one's my favorite. This is direct objection killing content. Let me show you what I mean. So this is a podcast that I did.
So I feel like a lot of business owners are, quite busy running their business. I guess a lot of them are concerned that it would take them a long time to run a YouTube channel. So how does that even work?
Yeah, absolutely. When I first started on YouTube, I thought it would take forever as well. And most people think that, and when they first try to do YouTube, they're like, man, this takes me a long time. Each video is taking 10 hours, that kind of thing. And I guess I kind of learned how to do it quickly just out of necessity. Just to give an example, there was one time when I was in Thailand for about 2 months. I got stuck there because my girlfriend was in the hospital and stuff. Right. And during that time, I could only spend maybe one day working on YouTube. So I actually only spent about 6 to 8 hours working on YouTube that entire time. Mm-hmm. And that's all it took. So for 2 months, the only time that I spent was 6 to 8 hours. So that's less than 1 hour a week on YouTube. And my channel actually grew. Like, we were getting more views, we were making more money during that time that I was stuck there. And that's when I realized that I don't actually have to be a part of the channel. The only thing I have to do is just record the videos. That's it. And the only time that it takes to just record the videos is about 1 hour a week. That's it. I mean, if you think about it, 20-minute video, let's say you're uploading 3 videos per week, that's 1 hour, right? Mm-hmm. So it only takes about 1 hour a week. And you don't even have to upload 3. You can start off with just 1 per week. And you just heard me handle the I don't have time objection. And I did this with a personal story and specific proof. Only 6 to 8 hours in 2 months that I spent on my content. Less than 1 hour per week. And the channel still grew and it still made more money. And this is what you can do when you integrate the proper systems into your business, right? Content creation should not be a full-time job. It should be something fun that you do a little bit of the time. And then you work on your business the rest of the time, or you just enjoy your life. And that's not theory. That is literally a real story that happened to me that directly destroys their objection. And when someone books a call with us, I have about 40 of those clips that various different ad platforms run to them, right? So we have pixels and we know who books the call. And then the next time they get on Facebook, they're probably gonna see that clip. And then people get on the phone and they start saying things like, yeah, I heard your Thailand story. I guess I can find an hour a week. And there we go. Objection handled before the call even started. That is the power of propaganda content. Now, part 3, let's talk about implementation and results. Because here's what happens when you do this right. You create a feedback loop. Better content leads to more qualified leads. More qualified leads leads to easier sales calls. Easier sales calls gives you even better data. And better data leads to even better content. It's a compound effect. And your competitors, they're still guessing. They're still creating content based on what they think people want to hear, while you're creating content based on what people actually say. So for instance, my client, Sean Dolwitt, was stuck around $30,000 a month for a long time, literally years. Within a couple months of working with us, he scaled all the way up to $180,000 a month. So that's a 6x increase. And within 9 months of working with us, he scaled all the way up to over $500,000 a month, which was nearly a 15x increase. And he's not the only client. We've worked with complete beginners like Alex, who was literally a complete beginner, never uploaded a YouTube video in his life. And we scaled him to 15K per month within a few months.
So Shane knows how to monetize things very well. He's an expert at monetizing your YouTube channel and trying to get you to 5 figures. So I make $15,000 a month off YouTube. That is, yes, that's real. I do make that much money.
And we've also worked with clients like Felix, who was already making 7 figures a year, and he wanted to scale to 8 figures. And that's exactly what we helped him do. And these aren't flukes. This is what happens when you stop guessing and start listening. So let's talk about your action plan to make this happen. First of all, collect your last 20 to 50 sales call transcripts. At least 20 to 50, I would recommend even more than that. Step 2, use the ChatGPT prompt that I gave you. I'll put it up on the screen and also have it down in the description and the pinned comment below, along with more detailed detailed directions on how to do this. In step 3, organize everything in a Google Sheet. And then step 4, create your first objection killer video. And step 5, track how this impacts your sales conversions. Now, I know it's very simple to do, right? I made it simple on purpose. I didn't want this to overwhelm you, but this is a good place to start. And it's not easy, but it is simple. So for a video like this, obviously I can't go deep into exactly how to do this. I will say it's very important that you convert your text into .txt because most of the LLMs like ChatGPT, etc., it'll just be too much text for them to handle. And you want to be able to upload as much text as possible at a time. And then if you have a bunch of calls, you kind of just have to do like maybe 30 calls at a time and then just do it over and over again. But the truth is most business owners are creating content in the dark, right? They have no idea if it's working, no idea if it's addressing real concerns, no idea if it's moving the needle. But you now have a system that eliminates all the guesswork. You know what your prospects are thinking. You know what they're worried about. You could basically write a diary entry in their typical day, right? You know exactly what content to create. And that's not luck, it's strategy. Now, by the way, first 5 people that book a call from this video only until the end of the week get a free audit. These are audits we usually charge $1,000 for. And in this call, we'll figure out where you are right now, where you wanna be, we'll make a plan to get there, and then we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. But only book a call if you're serious about growing and monetizing your YouTube channel. Right? We typically work with people who are intermediates, they've already got small businesses, and they're already doing decently well on YouTube, or we work with advanced business owners. However, we do work with beginners as long as they're serious and dedicated. However, if you're a beginner, you will have to apply below. And make sure you check out the interview I did with my client, Sean, where we helped him get to over 500K per month by clicking right here.